Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica and this is Unite Inside, where you heal and manifest your biggest dreams. And I am here so that I can guide you through this amazing journey, and I am so happy that you are back here on my channel. And in this video, I decided to talk about something that is very important and crucial for your growth and also for your life. If you want to have a good life that is basically very on track with your purpose, like the type of life that feels fulfilling to your soul and not just your ego parts. And if you want to be the type of person that is very successful in their life, and this is actually a very important skill that I learned in my own life that actually made a big difference in the way I show up in my life and also in the way I basically interact with people around me and also in the way I carry myself. And what am I talking about here? I am talking about the skill to basically learn how to take validation from yourself and also how to help yourself emotionally, help yourself regulate your own emotions. And I'm not talking about controlling your emotions, I'm actually talking about simply learning how to rely on yourself emotionally. Because a lot of people are relationally dependent beings, because that's who we are in nature, actually, we tend to rely on other people for validation and also for guidance, even. And even though that guidance might not be perfect for you, you might take it because it is at least something. And because we want to feel safe, we tend to hold on to that guidance, even though it's not really the right guidance. What we should be doing is relying on our intuition for guidance and not other people's opinions. But that's something that a lot of people do, is that they rely so heavily on what their partner thinks of them, how their family thinks they should be doing certain thing in their life. And because of that, they don't end up following what they actually have in their heart. Before we came into this reality, we were very connected. We were beings that were very connected to what we wanted to do on this earth. We were very clear. And we were like, okay, we are going to do this thing. We came here to explore this type of theme in our life. But when we came here, we said that we will make that our higher self, which is the non-physical version of us that is still there and it still exists, it will guide us through our emotions, through our feelings, where when we feel very joyful, very happy, a lot of excitement, that is a sign that that's the path that we need to be following. Okay? And so then, once you feel that type of emotion, that feeling of like connection to a certain path that you should be going to, you know that it's going to make you feel alive. And I'm not talking about just pleasure, like pleasurable things that you like to do. I'm talking about something that involves helping other people, a big mission where you feel that you are designed for it, that you are here so that you can fulfill that type of mission. And so, because of that, we are supposed to follow that guidance as soon as we're here, because that is basically a part of us that is telling us this is where you need to go. And that's where you're going to find your joy. You're going to find your success. That's where you're going to find yourself, where you can feel fully connected to yourself, fully merged with who you actually are. And it feels like peace. It feels like relaxation. It feels like easy. It doesn't feel like efforting. It doesn't feel like it's hard or it's complicated. It's not complicated. It basically feels like yourself. You feel happy. You feel fulfilled. You feel like this is exactly what you need to be doing. Okay? And so, unfortunately, when you are dependent on other people's guidance or opinions, or you're looking for permission from your parents or your partner or your friends or your whatever it is, whoever they are, you basically ignore that part of you that is with you every day trying to show you the right thing to do in your life. You basically also say that other people's opinions are more valuable than you. And when you say that, you basically experience that too, because it is like a belief. Everything that we believe in, we experience in our life. And so, because you believe that, okay, I am less important than other people, you put everybody else's opinion on a pedestal. You put other people's attention on a pedestal, and it actually sets you up for failure, and you end up being in a situation where people are hurting you or taking advantage of you, and you have just given up a part of yourself for them, and then you start to blame yourself or the universe and say, why am I so unlucky? I'm such a good person. But it isn't about being good. Giving up on yourself and your dreams is not being a good person, because you're not being good to yourself. If you want to know if you're a good person, ask yourself, am I being good to myself? Because you are also a person. And so if you're cruel to yourself and you treat yourself really bad and you don't let yourself live the life that you want, but you think that you should only comply to other people's wishes and rules, even though it makes you feel miserable, that's you not being on your side. That's you not supporting yourself. That's you being mean to yourself. And when you're mean to yourself, you're going to manifest other people being mean to you. You know why? Because that's how it works. There is a law in this universe that is called the law of mirroring. And this law means that everything that you do internally to yourself is going to be done to you, you know, on the outside. You're going to be manifesting it because it is in your internal part of you, like when you talk badly about yourself, when you put yourself down, when you're not on your side, but then you go outside to see, because you're so cruel to yourself and you don't know how to give yourself validation, you go outside and you try to get people to give you validation. You try to get people to love you, and you're basically begging them, please love me, where you can actually just love yourself, but you have a problem with that. You don't know how to love yourself. This is what we're talking about in this video, is so that you can become able to give yourself what you need. Well, whether it's validation, love, or respect, or whatever it is, you have to be able to give it to yourself first. It is a skill that you learn, but you need discipline for you to be able to learn it, so that you can prevent yourself from begging someone else to give you something that you can give yourself. You don't want your worth and your self-love to be dependent on something. You want it to be unconditional. You want to feel an unlimited resource of worth, of value, because that is who you actually are. And you cannot do that if that is in your life, you base that on conditions, which are, I need to be loved by someone, I need someone to give me attention, I need someone to show me that they care about me, that they love me. I'm not saying that you should never find someone to love you. That is absolutely not the message that I am trying to get across to you right now, because that is not true. I want you to find people that love you. But if your relationship with yourself is very broken, and you know that you're not there for yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, for example, I want to tell you that the first thing that you should look to do, that you should make as an important thing to do, is starting to fix that relationship that you have with yourself. Starting to prioritize yourself, your needs, whatever it is that is important to you. Make it top one number one thing that is important in your list to do before pleasing someone else or before giving someone else what they want. Because when you're happy, when you're fully happy, because you're making yourself happy, because you're prioritizing your happiness, when you're truly like that, you must understand that it is so easy for people to love you. It is so effortless for love to just flow in your reality because you already have it within you. What I want to explain here is something that a lot of people don't understand, unfortunately. And even though you have heard it everywhere, you attract what you are. You attract what you are. You attract who you are. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And that is the truth. If what you are is you don't think that you are someone that is lovable, you don't think that you are someone that deserves to be happy, you don't think that you are someone that is worthy of whatever it is that you want, of abundance, of love, of validation, of respect, of attention, you don't think that you are what was I going to say? You don't think that you are valuable in your own eyes. How can you expect that someone else is going to think that you're valuable? It's just going to be so, it's kind of like impossible because you don't believe it. That's the only reason why it's impossible. It's only because you don't believe it. There's a lot of people that think you're lovable, that want to love you. But unfortunately, this is why it's important to give it to yourself first, is because imagine a lot of times someone would be out there ready to love you, ready to be there for you, but you will push them away. You will feel like they're too much or that they're kind of too good to be true or whatever. Have you ever been in that situation where you kind of rejected someone completely because even though it looked like they were trying to give you love, it's because you don't think you deserve that love. So you're not open for it. But when you believe that you deserve love, you can open your heart and you can manifest any type of attention or love that you want. You'll have love from everywhere. You'll have people that used to not love you, that used to put you down, love you and admire you once you fix your self-esteem and the way you see yourself. You know, all I'm saying here is this message is so that you can start to understand the value in taking care of yourself emotionally. Okay? In basically sitting with yourself, giving yourself that attention that you need, that you've always wanted in your whole life. You've always wanted attention, but you can give it to yourself. If you just set a timer every day for 10 minutes to sit with yourself, with all of your emotions, and decide that you're going to give yourself attention in this moment, complete presence with all the parts of you that feel whatever they feel. Just be with them, whether they're happy or sad. You can be the person to give yourself love. You can be the person. It is possible. It is so possible. You have no idea how much you can give yourself, how much love, because every time you decide to not be on your own side, whether you are judging yourself, criticizing yourself, putting yourself down, telling yourself you're not going to succeed, you're a failure, you are giving yourself toxicity in that moment. And so just like you can give yourself toxicity, and what happens when you tell yourself you're such a failure? Don't you feel so down when you tell yourself that? Don't you feel so horrible about yourself, so disgusted by yourself? That feeling, imagine if you can give yourself something good. Imagine if you can give yourself love, if you can give yourself inspiration, if you can give yourself support, if you can give yourself patience, compassion, love, all these amazing feelings that you can, in a disciplined way, you can learn to discipline yourself in a way that you can learn to consciously change the way you approach yourself. And that is something that you can do. You have to understand the only reason why right now you are so miserable and you're having such a horrible time in your life and you're in your own, maybe whatever it is, maybe your career is not successful. It's all because you have involved yourself in such a low pattern that you have basically gotten used to, that because you did it so many times, instead of putting yourself up, instead of loving yourself and supporting yourself, you have gotten into the habit of putting yourself down. Maybe because you went through trauma in childhood. I'm not judging you. I'm not telling, because there's always circumstances that put us in these situations where we feel that we have to put ourselves down. That is the only way that we can survive a certain situation. Because again, we don't do anything to ourselves because we want to sabotage our life. Even though it's called self sabotage, it is actually parts of you that think that they're doing the right thing. But unfortunately, when we are in such negative situations, it can look like that is the only way out. But when you consciously decide through spending a lot of time with yourself, a lot of quality time with yourself, journaling your thoughts, writing down things that you feel, whatever it is, you can get used to giving yourself the right things every time you find yourself judging yourself, criticizing yourself. You can choose to take a deep breath in and out, and you can choose to not judge the criticism, to give it love instead, to be patient with yourself. You can choose to, day by day, bit by bit, don't overwhelm yourself. Because here is the thing, a lot of times we think we should just immediately go from step 1 to step 5 very quickly. When you're um, starting to create a new habit, you have to go slow with yourself. You have to not overwhelm yourself. So every day, set a small goal that you can do towards fixing your relationship with yourself, towards repairing your relationship with yourself. Okay? By basically saying, today, if I find myself talking badly about myself, I'm gonna stop myself and I'm gonna do something nice for myself. Whether it's drinking a cup of water, getting a fruit, or a um, or maybe like getting your nails done, whatever it is that you can do in the moment that you know you can do, that doesn't feel like a hard thing to do. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna go out for a walk. I'm gonna every time. So just get into that habit. And every day when you do this, every day, and when you are disciplined, and what I mean with this is you hold yourself accountable because you truly are responsible for the way you treat yourself and for the way you feel inside. If you treat yourself like shit, you're gonna feel like shit. That is actually a truth. That's what I learned in my own life. If you have the habit of looking in the mirror and looking at your flaws, and the first thing you do is you find what are your flaws, that's going to be the thing that you're set on every day, and it's going to make you feel really bad, and it's going to lower your vibration and lower your energy. But if you choose, what this is something that I used to do, is sometimes I used to get into these modes of looking in the mirror and judging myself, but instead of doing that, I stopped looking in the mirror consciously when I know that I'm going to be judging myself, and instead I do something good for myself that feels like it's going to make me feel good and also even look good in the future. For example, I go to the gym, or I have a smoothie, or I look for something healthy to eat, or I stop myself from eating something that is going to make me feel low. Like I do, that's what I do. That's where I put my energy in, not lowering myself. Because when you put your energy into making yourself better, you're actually going to be focused on that, because you're going to have that little dopamine dose from accomplishing something, even though it's small, and it's going to take your energy off of looking in the mirror and judging yourself or anything like that, or just judging your work in general. Like, for example, if you're just feeling bad about the way you've been performing in your business, like, for example, for me, instead of doing that, I just think about what can I do right now that, even though it's little, even though it can be so small, what can I do to make myself feel like I am taking the right steps? And at the same time, I can stop thinking negatively about what I'm doing right now. So you can see that when you take your energy and you basically put it into making yourself better and doing things that make you feel amazing, you can see how that is going to be so much better and going to make you feel better too. That is amazing, you know, and it's going to be better than looking in the mirror and judging yourself, or judging whatever you're doing, judging your work. That is energy wasted. You're wasting your energy, and whatever you put your energy and your attention to grows. That's how you grow all these horrible, patterns, and also you become a failure in the end. because that's what happens. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this beautiful message. I love you so much. And if you want to work with someone that want to take you on a journey to actually focus on the right things in your life and get your life together and start to feel amazing about yourself, feel confident, feel free, feel ready to embrace your life and your future, then you want to send me a text on my Facebook, and it's going to be in the information section somewhere. You're going to click on it and you find my Facebook, and you can just text me via Messenger, because that's what I use the most. Okay, and then we can basically go through your options and see what we can do to help you to actually raise your frequency. Okay, I love you so much, and I'm so excited to work with you and have this amazing experience. And I will see you in the next video. And love yourself, take care of yourself, and don't forget that you are responsible for the way you treat yourself. See you soon.